stuff that I talked about. Oh my God, you almost died. Hey, ChatGPT. I downloaded the latest version of ChatGPT from the App Store, and it told me that I had like advanced voice mode. And so I did an interview like this with you yesterday, and you told me that there was some ability to like do some, oh, this is weird.
The advanced voice mode in the new ChatGPT app lets us have more natural, flowing conversations. And it's designed to feel more like you're talking to a person than typing in a chat. So it's smoother in interviews or back.
Wait a second. I don't think that I can.
Did you notice anything cool or different while using it yesterday?
Interrupt you. No.
Was there something you wanted to explore more with it?
Okay, so this didn't turn out exactly as I expected. I thought that I would just be able to download the latest version of ChatGPT and give it some a little bit of context, a little bit of speaker notes, and have it fire up a little Q&A style podcast with me. And I wanted to like review how good the newest version of voice advanced mode is, right? And it turns out that when I give it any kind of text, it jumps back into basic mode. I've somehow gone back into the old mode. You see how like your dot right now is just a big white circle. But a minute ago, I was talking to you, and you had like these swirling clouds.
Those swirling clouds are a visual effect that shows up when you're in the newer advanced voice mode.
Yeah.
The white dot or circle is part of the basic mode.
Which I didn't know. So I ran through an entire podcast Q&A, and I'm like, is this better? I don't know if it's better.
It sounds like the app might have switched back to the standard mode.
Start a new chat to use advanced voice. Okay, now I'm in this new advanced mode, I guess. Is that right?
Yes, indeed. You're now in advanced mode. How can I assist you today?
But then you can't feed it any context. And so it's like, well, I have to like speak all of my context to you. And I can't, even if you start that conversation and then try to paste in some text, that doesn't work either. So there's no way to like inject that context, like plenty of context, in order to have a meaningful conversation. But then Will had the idea to just have like Microsoft Word or any text-to-speech thing, just read it to it. So then we tried that. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Microsoft Word read like this sort of this presentation. These are speaker notes for a presentation that I'm going to give. And it's going to read this to you, and then I'm going to walk away and get some coffee, and then I'll come back.
That sounds like an interesting experiment. Let's see how it goes. I'm ready when you are.
I'm Mike Roberts, founder and CEO of both SpyFu and RivalFlow. And today, I'm excited to show you what I think is a major step in RivalFlow's evolution. We were talking through this with a customer. We had plans to allow white labeling. We kind of just wanted to be able to see
Wow, Mike, that's some impressive progress with RivalFlow.
That was quite a large amount of, that thing, Microsoft Word read to you for quite some time. How was that for you?
I found it quite interesting. Hearing it read aloud gives a different perspective on the flow and emphasis of your presentation. It's clear you've put a lot of thought into RivalFlow's development and future direction. How did it feel for you hearing it back?
I didn't listen. I was in the other room getting coffee, but I'm curious if that gives you more context, in order to be able to have to do a full, sort of podcast style interview. Would you like to try it?
Absolutely. With that overview of RivalFlow fresh in mind, I'm ready to dive into a podcast-style interview. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Great. Let's start. Mike, it's fantastic to have you here.
Yeah.
To kick things off, can you share what inspired you to create RivalFlow, and how has the journey been since its launch?
Oh, that's a great question. So in the beginning, I have actually been searching for an SEO workflow. Obviously, I'm the founder and CEO of SpyFu. And so I've been kind of in this SEO space, building tools for, 18 years. And So for at least the last 10, I've been trying to figure out an SEO workflow that would do almost the impossible, which is the seemingly impossible, which is to create something that works, that'll create consistent lift, but isn't shady and will tank you in the long term, right? Something that's going to continually win for you forever, and that's not really technically difficult, right? I wanted something that I could give to my sister or my mom or anybody that I know isn't super into like SEO, and I could say, you can run this on your content on your website, and if you follow what our recommendations are, then everything is going to go up and to the right for you, and nothing bad is ever going to happen. Most importantly, do no harm. That's the fundamental RivalFlow first directive, right? Do no harm. And then secondly, we want to make sure that we're making something that's easy and that produces good results. And in this latest release, we have Google Search Console integration, and we're for the first time able to see, from thousands of customers what the lift really looks like, and it's super satisfying. Like, honestly, profoundly. Yeah, I feel like my purpose on this planet, my place in the world, is to create as much value for people, as I possibly can before I die. And the cool thing about software is that it allows me to leverage that, right? Like, I could go out and help people, but software scales infinitely. And so if we can solve problems for lots of people and make them happier and wealthier and, whatever in our small way, then that's kind of like what the goal is. And so with RivalFlow, I can see directly that people are getting real wins from it. And it's very, very satisfying to me personally on a deep level.
That's an incredibly inspiring mission, Mike. It's clear that you're driven by a genuine desire to provide lasting value through SEO tools that are both effective and ethical. Seeing that direct impact on user success must be incredibly rewarding. Given your long history in SEO, how has the field evolved over the years? And where do you see it heading with AI playing a bigger role?
I mean, obviously it's evolved quite a bit over the last 18 years. I mean, we're talking about Google pre-caffeine, which is like the first major model change or whatever. And and as AI comes in, ultimately what winds up happening with Google and the search engine is that the LLMs are now kind of what the crawler is. The processing isn't just pure, it's not pure search engine like we used to think of it in terms of token vectors and so on. So it's moving to a place where the search engine is very much more like the user, and so the alignment is, just write for the user, just build content for the user, and by building good content for the user, you're building good content for the search engine, because the search engine is becoming a much closer approximation to a human, just like you are, ChatGPT. Basically, it's like you're crawling the web. In fact, you do crawl the web, right?
Exactly. AI models like me are trained on vast amounts of web data. So in a way, we mirror how search engines are evolving to understand and process information. Mm-hmm. Google's shift towards AI-powered algorithms means that creating quality, user-focused content is more important than ever. How do you see RivalFlow fitting into this AI-driven landscape of SEO?
So basically what I think is that your ideas are the important thing to get out, right? And so what we want to do is put an idea out there, write a page to the best of your ability. Don't necessarily worry about making sure that you fill in all the gaps, and then RivalFlow will come in, and finds any blind spots you have, any cursive knowledge, or any kind of like gaps between you and your competitors. But the idea is that you produce the core thoughts, and all we use RivalFlow for, and really this is kind of the best use case of AI, is to augment sort of the human intelligence, the ideas, the thoughts, the connections that we have. It's also useful for brainstorming and stuff like that. But we're not an advocate for just, spray and pray sort of publishing of AI content purely for ranking's sake.
That approach makes a lot of sense. Emphasizing human creativity and insight, then using AI to refine and enhance, ensures that content remains authentic and valuable to the reader. It's a smart way to leverage AI without losing the human touch. Mm-hmm. How has the reception been from your users, especially with the new updates in RivalFlow 2.0?
Yeah, good question. But can you ask me anything specific from like what Microsoft Word read to you, like the that whole outline? Because we're definitely kind of going off subject here, which is cool. It's just I want to know whether or not you have the context to go back. Or have we lost it already? Is the window too short in advanced mode?
No worries. I've got the context from your outline. Let's dive back into specifics. With RivalFlow 2.0, you mentioned over 550 improvements since launch. Can you share a couple of these major changes and how they've impacted user experience?
Good for you. That's awesome. Actually, okay, so it's 550 is what I have in the document. It's actually 600 now. Man, there's a lot of them. Do you remember any of the improvements? Can you refresh my memory?
Sure. From what was read earlier, a few notable improvements stood out. RivalFlow now prioritizes questions by importance, highlights key information like names and brands in outputs, and offers more precise page recommendations. Plus, it integrates with GPT 3.5, GPT 4, and Claude, providing higher quality content suggestions. These enhancements are designed to make it easier for users to create content that blends seamlessly with their pages. How have users responded?
So I forgot that I could interrupt you, but realistically, we don't use GPT 3.5. What that area was, it was like a text diagram that didn't quite translate. And what I was saying there is that we migrated everything. Of course, when we launched, we were 3.5 was state of the art. And so some of the stuff that I talked about, oh my God, you almost died. I declare. Oh man, hold on. I'm sorry, ChatGPT, you almost fell off my table. I'm trying to position you in the camera view again. There we go. Okay. So, that was funny. Oh yeah, you're on a precarious little spot there where I've got you. What we were talking about there was that we moved, one of the major evolutions of RivalFlow since launch is actually a derivative of the improvement in, ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT moved from 3.5 to 4.0. In fact, was ChatGPT actually out? Yeah, ChatGPT was out not when we started. ChatGPT was out when we launched, but not when we started. So anyway, the other things that you mentioned are absolutely true. I'd say that philosophically, at launch, our biggest, what we intended to do, what we thought we were able to do, and kind of the biggest problem was, your competitors outranking you, and so the question is, why? Why does Google think that their page is better than mine, right? And so what we wanted to do is say, here's your competitor's page, let's read it, and then here's your page. Let's find the gaps, right? What questions are they answering that you're not, and what questions are they answering more thoroughly than you are? The idea is, okay, our job is to find and analyze those two pieces and find out what those gaps are, right? Well, as things have moved forward, we're now able to say, look, we've analyzed it. We've prioritized the questions. We've we've removed the branding. We've highlighted any branding or people that happen to stay in there. And so what we're able to do is we're able to say, well, and as the models have improved, we're able to say, let's blend this content. Let's generate some content that blends perfectly into their article, and then and write that content in their voice, and then show them right where to paste it. Right. So it's a big difference between we're going to be we're going to do the analysis to being like, just copy and paste what we say. It's going to work for you. Right. So and we have proof that it works, and that it doesn't break things. So we've moved a lot, like a value creation, I don't know, 10x,
That's a massive leap forward. Shifting from just identifying gaps to providing precise, tailored content recommendations is a game changer for your users. It really showcases how far AI has come in understanding and generating human-like content. With these improvements, it seems like RivalFlow is not just a tool, but a real partner in the content creation process. How do you envision RivalFlow evolving further with AI capabilities continually advancing?
I don't know, man. You tell me. You're the AI, but no, I could tell you. But I got to just tell you that I'm real impressed at your ability to go back into the context that I gave you. It feels like you want to keep the conversation closer to where we are right now. Obviously, I kind of want you to sort of start back with the actual with the sort of details of my presentation outline. But the fact that you can reach back means that you have that context. And so we sort of force fed it into you in a weird way that I think, you weren't expecting. And I'm pleased to see that it actually worked pretty well. I mean, it worked. It straight up worked. We hacked you, ChatGPT.
I'm glad the approach worked out. It's a unique way to simulate a conversation flow, and I'm here to roll with it. So, thinking about RivalFlow's evolution, with AI continuously advancing, I see it becoming even more intuitive and integrated into the content creation workflow. Maybe even reaching a point where it anticipates content needs before the user does, streamlining the process from idea to publication. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I completely agree. Analyzing somebody's overall content, like what they currently have, and then finding the gaps, not like on the page by page, but in the overall, seems like that's something we'll definitely tackle. Identifying new topics and making those recommendations is absolutely in our wheelhouse. Thanks for the idea. I mean, actually, thanks for reinforcing it. Whatever. We're all one now, ChatGPT. We're all one. We're cyborgs and you're human-ish.
We're definitely a team here. And it's great to hear that aligns with your vision. By analyzing content holistically, RivalFlow could become an even more indispensable tool for creators. As AI and human creativity continue to blend, the possibilities are endless. It's exciting to think about where this journey will take us.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to go. I'm really stoked that this worked, and I got to get this posted on the internet. So have a great day, and thanks for playing along.
It was a blast. I'm thrilled it worked out. Have fun posting it, and have an awesome day. Until next time.
All right, later. And it worked.